Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to Pinky Hooks. I am your host, Shania Lancaster, and this is Alexa edition of Crochet 101. Now, if you don't know why this edition is called the Alexa edition, because from last night's video, as I said, I met a young lady in Michael's yesterday who I had the pleasure of meeting. Her name is Alexa. She is wanting to learn how to crochet. And so I made her a promise that if she subscribed to the channel, I will gladly teach her how to begin her fantastic journey of crocheting. And I know that all my other subscribers is super duper excited to know that a young person from the newer generation wants and has the desire to want to learn this craft. So let's all give Alexa a Pinky Hooks clap. Tell her welcome and that we wish the best of luck. And so we're going to jump into this tutorial. Before we do, if you are new to this channel, I am Shania Lancaster, and this channel is a little bit of everything, mainly the love of arts and crafts, crocheting being the number one, but I do have other things up my sleeve, and sometimes my pet rabbit, Ruby, makes an appearance, believe it or not. Yeah. So anyway, so here we go. So again, Alexa, get your yarn and your hook, whether it's your I or J, because I know that your mom got you at least both of those. Get your hooks ready. Get all nice and comfy. Ask your mom to bring you a soda. And let's get to it. Let's get to it. Shoot, hey, school's in session, hon. It's in session. I don't care if it's Sunday. Let's get started. So when you're first learning how to crochet, your average hook is a size J, sometimes an I. Pretty much you want to stay in the I and J area. When you're first learning, I think that's how most of us started, okay? So there are two techniques to holding your crochet hook. You will not know which one is right for you until you start to practice, all right? One of the most common ways is what we call the steak knife technique. So if you think about a steak knife, right? So we'll pretend like this is the fork and we'll pretend like this is a knife. Now, even though I'm right-handed and I crochet with this hand, when I'm eating meat, I am cutting like this. I'm holding this down and then I'm doing this motion, okay? So basically, remember how you cut meat or cut your food. This is what we call the steak knife position. That's because when I start to crochet, it looks something like this. So as you can see, my right hand is holding it just like as if I was cutting a steak knife, right? Or cutting food with a steak knife, okay? So yeah, but look at that technique. Because I'm holding it like as if I'm doing this motion, look at my hands. So when this technique, my fingers are wrapped around very tightly on the bottom, okay? My hand is enclosed, almost like a little open fist. And then the pressure is put on my forefinger and my thumb, okay? No matter how much I try to loosen, that is going to be my grip. The reason why I have now taught myself how to crochet with what we call the pencil technique, because most of the times you're writing like this, right? So this is called the pencil technique. I had to force myself to learn how. Why? Let me show you. It's because for me, I have arthritis and cervical stenosis. So I need to take the pressure off of that hand. So if I'm doing a long project like a blanket, excuse me, or something that, excuse me, requires me to tighten certain stitches, whatever the case is, sometimes I have to give my hand release and those fingers release. Now, when I'm doing the pencil technique, this is what it looks like. Just like, oh, let me get it started. Okay. And so think about it. You're holding a pencil just like this, or a pen. And so I'm doing the same thing. And as you can see, I don't move as fast as I do, or as easy as I do when I'm doing the stake, but I had to learn. Now, why? Because it gives relief to my hands. As you notice, right? You see how I'm holding it? You see those fingers down there? They're nice and relaxed. Now they're not gripping. That releases the pain that I get right here. I get it right here and right here, okay? And my hand is not, it's more open. So when I get the cramps right in this area, no, now I don't have it so much, okay? I still have a little pressure on the forefinger, but actually my thumb is actually more relaxed because I have arthritis right there. So my arthritis is more so kind of like in selected fingers. Now, Alexa, if you're looking at this, you're young. You're young, and you're full of vigor in life. And so you're not worried about arthritis right now. Thank God. Okay. So you may just say, well, I want to learn both techniques. And that's fine. That's a good thing if you do try to learn both techniques, because as you grow in this skill, you want to be able to already know, like, okay, if you start getting cramps in your hands, then you should go ahead and switch your techniques. And also, you want to understand that when your hands are cramping up, when you're crocheting, the proper thing is to take a break every 20 minutes. And then what you want to do is just do some stretches, okay, with your hands. Just open and close, stretch your hands, cross your hands, okay, stretch those fingers out, okay. The good technique that I use, I will put my hand flat. I will do a nice massage like this. Okay. I will open my hands and I am massaging with my thumbs. I'm being gentle with my fingers. Okay. Rest your hands for, they say, pretty much about anywhere for you, because you're young, you want to at least take a 10-minute break, and make sure that you drink a lot of water because you're working those joints. And I know you're saying, I'm young. Thank God you are. Okay. But as you grow in this, you definitely want to take care of your hands. Okay. So that's a good thing for you to learn now. All right. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to be using J hook, which is the 6.0 millimeter, and I have my 4-ply worsted weight, which is my acrylic yarn. So in this lesson, we will begin to learn how to first make a chain, and then we will go right into a single crochet. So you want to start with a knot. Now, most of the time, some people, you will hear the term of a magic ring. Don't worry about learning the magic ring just yet. I can also do a tutorial on the magic ring, but I normally will just do a knot, and it'll be a loose knot just like that. Just make a loose knot so that you're able to insert your hook. And once you have it on your hook, you want to tighten it, not too tight, but that'll work, like so that you have a little bit of slack right there, okay? So now how you start a chain is you want to wrap your yarn around your hook, just like that. Now, when you're learning how to crochet, you get a little bit, it's a little bit awkward because you're not really sure like how you're holding your yarn and how you're holding your hook, but you will get there, okay? It's going to be a little bit awkward. You find the technique that's best for you. When I first learned, when someone said wrap the yarn around the hook, they told me to grab where that knot was, okay, with my thumb and my middle finger. And now you're able to work with the yarn when you need to pull it through. So again, you got your knot on your hook. You want to wrap it around, okay? Kind of hold that right there, give it a little tug, and now pull your hook through that loop. And when you come up, you should have still one loop on the hook, okay? Let's try that again. You want to wrap around, and if you have to switch, you notice that I switched before I started. You see how I have now my first chain on this side, on my right side, and as I'm wrapping my yarn around, now I switch back with the left hand to grab the chain, and now I'm going to pull through. Here you go. Do it again. Switch sides, wrap the yarn around the hook, and pull through. Now, if you're having a problem pulling through, okay, when you wrap your chain around, okay, if it starts to feel like this and you're doing like that, that's because you are doing it too tight. That means you need to make the loop that's on the hook a little bit looser, okay? Yeah? So again, wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through. Wrap the yarn around the hook and pull through. And all the while you're holding onto the base, okay? Because you're pretty much keeping it straight. So look at this. You are trying to check your gauge, and you will hear that term in the crochet world and in the knitting world. But for crochet, yes, definitely check your gauge. And what your gauge is how tight is this loop on the hook. So look, it works like a levy. You see that? So if I do this with the right hand, okay, as I'm holding it, that's how I'm loosening the gauge. If I pull on as far as the left hand, and this is for if you are right-handed, which Alexa told me she was right-handed. So if you're pulling on the left hand, then you see how you're tightening that up again. So that's what you call your gauge. You are trying to control, you know, you don't want it too tight and you don't want it too loose, okay? And that comes with practice. I've been doing this for years and I still have to play around with my own gauge, okay? So again, let's continue. Yarn over, you pull through, and there you go. Now, this is what we call a chain, okay? So this is your chain will determine how many stitches you actually have. How do you know what a stitch is and exactly where the stitch is? You see that when you make a chain, it's like a braid. And this looks like a braid, probably a French braid. And as you can see, for every cross, when I say cross, the way that the yarn is forming, like here's 1, here's 2, see, here's 3, here's 4, and here's 5. That's what you call a stitch. So now because you are creating chains by yarning over and pull through, you are actually creating a stitch as well as a chain. Now, most people will say that's just a chain. It is true. It is just a chain, but it will be considered a stitch at the same time, okay? So we're going to continue. Yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through. See? Yeah? Okay. So once you have your chain, you know, you want to practice your chain, you think that you have your chain down, this lesson will consist of a single crochet. So basically, this is what you need to do for a single crochet. A single crochet is just that, one. So once you go to turn back around, what you're going to do is skip the first stitch. That first stitch will be counted as a single crochet, okay? So you're going to go into the second, not that first. You're going to go into the second, and when I say go into the second, you take your hook and look. Remember when I was talking about the stitches, okay? Here's your second stitch. Look, you have one, and there's two. There's three. You're going into that second one. You're going to take your hook and insert right in the middle. And now, just like you created your chain, you're going to yarn over, pull through only one stitch. And when you do that, you should have two on there. And now you yarn over and you go through both loops. That is a single crochet. You just created your first single crochet. Again, here's the next stitch, okay? Not this one, because you can already see that it's worked into. This one right here. Insert your hook, pull the yarn down over the hook, pull through one, yarn back over, and pull through two. Okay? Pull your work apart if you have to so you can see your stitches. Again, go into the next stitch, which was part of your foundation chain. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through one. You should have two on your hook. Yarn back over and pull through two. Next, insert your hook into that next chain or stitch at this point. Yarn over, pull through one. You got two on there, right? Yarn over, pull through two. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through one. You should have two. Yarn over, pull through two. Insert your hook, yarn over, pull through one, yarn over, pull through two. And you're going to continue this all the way down. You insert that hook into the next chain, you yarn over, you pull through, yarn over, pull through two. Next, insert hook, yarn over, pull through one. You have two on your hook, yarn over, and pull through two. And we are at the final. I think we are at the final. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Because you're not going into that's the knot. And I didn't close my knot real good. So now here you go. And that is what a single crochet looks like. Okay. This is what we consider the front. If you turn it over, right? See, it looks a little bit different, right? I actually like the back more. So this is the back. Okay, so sometimes as you progress, Alexa, you will see directions that will say right side, which this will be considered your right side. And if you turn it over, this is what they call the wrong side. So now since we're at the end and you have created your first row, let me show you how to turn around. Okay, so remember, we're here at the end. So what you want to do to turn around, you want to turn this way. And actually, you are now looking at your back side. You're going to chain one. Okay, so that chain one counts as your first single crochet. So we're not going to go into this first stitch. You see that? You see how I'm pulling this out? This is your first stitch below. You're going to go into the next stitch. If you stretch your work, there you go. That's where you're going to insert your hook. You're going to insert your hook right there, yarn over, just like we did before. Pull up a loop. You got 2, just like before. Yarn back over, and there you go. Okay? Again, insert your hook into the next stitch. And when you're doing this, now look at this. Now, when you insert your hook, just don't insert. You see how you have 2? You have 2. This is called, if I can get my camera to focus, sorry. That's called, you have the front post or the front loop and the back loop, okay? You're going to go under both of those because you don't want to just do one. And what I mean by that is when you're inserting your hook into here, into your stitch, right? It's easy to split it. You see how now that's split? No, you don't want to do that, okay? You want to insert your hook into that stitch, but look, now you're going under both. So that's very important. And as you get advanced, we will come to, you know, a time where I can show you when you want to actually go in between the stitch. So you're going under both. You're yarning over and pulling up a loop, yarning over and going through 2. Okay, let's try that again. Stretch your work so you can see. Insert your hook, and then let's look. While you're inserting your hook, see, you're going under both loops. There you go. Yarn over, you pull up a loop, yarn over, go through 2. Again, stretch your work, insert your hook. Okay, look at that. 2 loops. Your hook is under 2 loops. Yarn over, pull through. You got 2 loops on your hook. Okay, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, insert your hook. Make sure you're going under both. Yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, stretch your work. You're not going down here. That was your first row. You're on your second row now. So you are making sure that you are going into the right stitch. Insert, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Stretch your work so you can see. You see that hole? Insert, make sure you go under both. Yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through 2. Again. Now, what's happening is you're like, uh-oh, I'm at the end. Now, this is tricky sometimes because when people get to the end, you want to be careful not to miss a stitch. This is how people's work comes out crooked. So all you have to do is turn your work over. There's the stitch. You see? It's 1 and 2. So you know. So what you're going to do is you're going to stretch that work like you did before. Let's stretch your work. And the end does get a little. It's right in there. Lexi, I hope you can see that. You're going to go through, just turn, make sure you're under both, and you are, oh, wait a minute, hold up. You're inserting your hook. Okay, you got both on there. You're yarning over, you're pulling through, just like you've been doing, you're yarning over and pulling through 2, okay? And so basically what's happening right now is like some people will have like this little tail left over, but that's my actual stitch because of the fact that I made my turn when I first started so loose. All right, so I have actually gotten into my last stitch. And if you ever want to know that you made sure that you got all your stitches, what I should have told you from the beginning was to count your stitches, whatever you start off with. Okay, so in this event, I can tell you how many stitches we started off with. So let me take out my, my thing right here. And I actually started off with 1, oh no, it's out of focus. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And because I did a turn, I actually had 11 chains. So when I did the turn on the first round, that reduced it to 10. So basically, I should always have 10 if I'm just going back and forth, okay? So, Lexi, that's how you turn around. Now, as you can see, it's just a small sample so that I was able to teach you this. But now what you can be doing today is you can be practicing rows. And as it grows, right, you should be able to make like a little square coaster, or you should be able to make like a little washcloth or a dish towel doing that technique. So practice this, see how far you get, watch your gauge, okay? And have fun with it. That's the main thing. It may not look like much. Don't get discouraged. You're not going to, Van Gogh didn't pick up the paintbrush and just create it, like his masterpiece. He had to keep going. So I want you to try and let me know if you have any problems, okay? All right. Lexa, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Where's the button? And Mom, if you're looking, I hope that you approve. If you have some questions, Alexa, or any new beginner in crochet, right? Please, please, please leave a comment below. Let me know what you think about that, okay? Lexa, if you're looking, I want you to practice your chains and your single crochets, okay? Remember what I told you, because I heard that you were looking at those books and you wanted to learn how to do aragumi. that's the little animals or whatever. The cool thing about aragumi, remember what I told you, you can do it because aragumi is usually in single crochet. I've never really said, I have several books on it, and I have created plenty of animals and dolls before I even started my YouTube channel. And I was surprised. It is done in single crochet. So if you know how to single crochet, that's pretty much the majority of the battle right there, okay? It does take a little bit of more knowledge to learn how to do increase and decreases, but that's easy. And I'll be glad to teach you that. But that is pretty much what you will need to be able to create the basics. What did I tell you? Start off with a dishcloth. Start off with a coaster, okay? Just simple single crochets back and forth. So this was lesson 1 for you for Crochet 101, if that's what you want to say. So the next lesson for you will be like how to turn your work. But I want you to make a chain and then go ahead and do single crochet. And knowing you look like a smart young lady. You probably will be like, oh, I already know how to turn. I was practicing. You go ahead and practice that, and I'll be doing a follow-up video, okay? Practice your technique on how you want to hold your crochet hook. And I hope that your mom, gives me some updates of how you're coming along. I think this is a craft that you're going to love and cherish for life, okay? So that's it. That is it. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. For those of you who are older and you are learning for the first time, please let me know how I did. And if you have any concerns or whatever, just leave a comment. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.